Today, we're going to build a system, a really powerful one. We're going to take some cutting-edge AI and combine it with proven cognitive science to help you master your memory and, honestly, learn just about anything faster. I want to start right here, because this one sentence really gets to the heart of how most of us study and how we get it completely wrong. We think that just exposing our brain to information over and over again is the key, but the actual science, it tells a totally different story. And that story begins with something I like to call the rereading trap. It is, without a doubt, the most common study technique on the entire planet. And you know what? It's also one of the least effective. So why do we do it? Well, the psychology here is fascinating. There's this massive gap between how rereading feels and what it actually does. As you read something again, it starts to feel familiar, it feels easy, productive even, and we mistake that feeling of comfort for actually knowing the material. It's a cognitive bias known as the illusion of fluency. But the reality? It's a passive activity that leads to incredibly low long-term retention. It's the illusion of knowing without any of the actual knowledge sticking around. Okay, so if rereading is the problem, what's the solution? Well, thankfully, there's a scientifically backed one, and it's built on a principle called active recall. Active recall is the complete opposite of that passive review we were just talking about. Instead of just letting information wash over you, you are actively forcing your brain to go in and retrieve it from your memory. Neuroscientists have a term for this, retrieval-based learning. And get this, it's the act of pulling information out, not just cramming it in, that actually builds strong, lasting memories. Think about it like this. Rereading is like walking down a path that's already there. It's easy, but retrieving information from memory, that's like building the path yourself, stone by stone. Every single time you test yourself and successfully pull out a piece of information, you are strengthening the neural pathway to that memory, making it stronger and easier to find next time. Now, for years, doing this properly took a lot of work, right? Writing out hundreds of flashcards, creating your own practice tests. It was a whole thing. But today, we can use AI to build a powerful, personalized active recall system in just a few minutes. For this, we're going to use a tool called NotebookLM. We're going to treat it like our own personal study partner, one that can turn all this amazing cognitive science into a practical, repeatable system that you can use for any subject you can imagine. So let's break it down. I'm going to walk you through the exact 4-step process to make this work. It's simple, it's methodical, and trust me, it is unbelievably effective. It all starts with step 1. We'll generate questions with AI to turn that passive material into an active challenge. Then, step 2 is the self-test. This is the core workout for your memory. In step 3, we'll use our AI partner to intelligently reinforce any of your weak spots. And finally, in step 4, we'll build a smart revision plan to lock in that knowledge for good. All right, step 1. This is all about creating your ammunition. You start by just uploading your source material, a textbook chapter, some articles, your lecture notes, whatever, into NotebookLM. You're basically just handing your AI partner the curriculum it needs to work with. Then, you use a simple but really powerful prompt just like this one. Now notice, you're not asking for a summary, you are specifically asking for questions that force you to retrieve information. This right here is the critical first move that flips the switch from passive reading to active learning. Okay, this next step is where the real magic happens. And I'll be honest, it's supposed to feel a little bit difficult. The key is you have to hide the source material and try to answer the questions the AI generated purely from memory. This is the active and active recall. It's that deliberate effort that truly forges deep understanding. So the process is simple. Cover your notes and try to answer each question. You can speak the answer out loud or write it down, doesn't matter. The important part is the struggle. That act of struggling to retrieve the information is exactly what strengthens those vital neural connections. It's just like lifting weights builds muscle. No effort, no growth. So what happens when you just can't remember an answer? This is not failure. This is a critical data point. Instead of just glancing at the answer and passively rereading it, we're going to create a powerful feedback loop with our AI partner. For any of the questions you struggled with, you can just ask NotebookLM to explain them in a new, simpler way. This is so powerful because it gives you a fresh perspective. It helps you break through a mental block and see the concept from a totally different angle, which dramatically improves your chances of remembering it next time. All right, on to the final step. And this one is all about making your new knowledge permanent. To make sure what you've learned truly sticks, we're going to combine active recall with another powerhouse principle from cognitive science, spaced repetition. With one last simple prompt, you can ask the AI to create a whole study schedule for you. It'll tell you exactly which questions to review on which days, strategically spacing them out over time right as your memory of them begins to fade. This is how you systematically move information from your fragile, short-term memory into durable, long-term knowledge. Now, it's really important that we frame this whole thing correctly. This is not about finding a lazy shortcut. It's about building a more intelligent, more efficient, and scientifically grounded way to learn. And that's the crucial takeaway here. You are not using AI to avoid doing the work. You are using AI to make the work you do count for more. You're leveraging technology to perfectly implement the principles of cognitive science, which is just incredibly smart. And by the way, if you want the complete prompt framework we talked about today, including a few advanced variations I didn't even get to, just comment "recall" down below and we'll get that sent right over to you. And that's it. You now have a complete system for learning more effectively than ever before. So the only real question left is this: what are you going to master first?